I have a lot of topics I would like to explore.
Okay.
But first of all, you've been you grew up in China, have your undergrad there, moved to United States for your MBA program, and then you started working for corporate. Maybe share with us a little bit about your career path. Like, what have you been doing in the past, and where are you doing now?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? So a lot of people, especially at an early stage of their career, they get interviewed, they get asked questions about where do they see themselves in 5, 10 years. By the way, I'm as guilty as the next guy, next interviewer, if you will, because I still ask those questions with a little bit tweak. I think if I reflect on the journey, a lot of times we made some important choices about our career. A lot of times also important for our personal life. It didn't come across as important at the moment you made it, but turned out to be, significant and maybe paved the way for your path for the next few years. And eventually I'm at the stage that a lot of things start to connect, right? So you probably heard about the term connect the dots.
Yeah.
What do you learn at school, your first job, second job? If you look back at the age of 26, probably a lot of things don't make sense at all. But if you look back 10 years, 15 years later, a lot of things start to make sense. So of course I'm still, in the middle of my journey, but I think things start to click. So really quick, I went to Fudan University. I studied physics as my undergraduate, and one thing I learned a lot through the 4 years at the Fudan University, and one thing I really realized is I'm just not as smart as a lot of other people there. So I decided to do something entirely different. So I went on to work for a Swedish public company. They do those security, products, and like I said, I wanted to do something entirely different than science, so I became a sales. And I did that for 5 years, then came to the States in 2011, went to UNC Chapel Hill for my MBA program, spent 2 years there, did my internship with DuPont, then afterwards joined a specialty chemical company in Philly, actually here, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then worked for, another chemical company before I joined the current company, Thermo Fisher. And I've done many different things: sales, marketing, product management, pricing, etc. Fast forward to today, I'm blessed with the responsibility of leading a data team for one of the large groups in Thermo Fisher. That's my day-to-day job. Think about it, it's quite a journey, right? Start as a sales, and now I'm basically spending 90% of the time really in data.
So it's like your dots are actually quite spreading. Scientist, sales, chemical, and then in chemical, product pricing, right? Data, science, Thermo Fisher data science, life science, and data science, data management. So many dots. And I'm pretty sure, as you mentioned, you probably didn't plan early in your career life. Like thinking back 20 years ago, are you going to know that you're going to do something related to data?
No, I think it's impossible, right? To your point, it's just most people cannot see that far, right? Not everyone's Elon Musk. You can see something's going to unfold exactly what you want in 10, 20 years. Even for Elon, he's always late in his prediction. So I don't know, maybe just a food for thought. It doesn't, maybe, there are some outliers out there, right? People can just, they know exactly what they want at an early stage of their career, maybe at a younger age, right? At the age of 10 or 12. But I think my observations, most people don't, right? So it's more about every turn we make, how do we make sense of the decisions? It's not about it justifying, okay, it's the right decision I made. It's more about how can I take advantage of it and make the best out of it. I think one of the frameworks, if you will, to kind of formulate your career, I see that not just myself, it's more about my observation, how a lot of successful people made their career is they were able to find intersection between their passion and strengths at a very early stage of the career. Imagine if you're working on something, getting yourself out of the bed every morning. You're super passionate about it, but also it happens to be something that you are better than 80%, 90% random people off the street. You kind of find your sweet spot, right? Then imagine you find it at the age of 50 versus the age of 25. It makes a whole difference, right? Because it allows you to really double down on a territory you are good at, passionate about, and you make friends and network around it. The higher you go in the hierarchy, the more you rely on the network, right? The trust, the leap of faith, as opposed to just to randomly put your resume out there and hope someone's going to take a look at it. So it's a long way to answer your question, but I think short answer is no. No, I didn't see that coming, and I'm still exploring, right? Maybe 10 years later, if we are, talking again, maybe I'm doing entirely different things. But I think it's more about, how do we reflect on, the things that we went through and the skills we built, the knowledge we built, the network, and how do we make it, take advantage of it. And also, is that something that we're really passionate about? I want to do that no matter what. One real reality check or pressure test is, okay, if you get paid 20% less, would you still do this job, right? If the answer is resounding yes, maybe you picked the right field, you're truly passionate about it. But if it's something that you would think really, really hard before you even say yes, maybe this is not something you're truly passionate about.
So if you're paid 20% less, are you going to continue doing what you're doing today?
I think for me it's a yes, right?
Okay.
Of course, I don't want that to happen. And thankfully, my company doesn't make decisions based on what they see on the internet. But it's more about the nature of the job, right? So that's another thing. It's not about a title. At the early stage of the career, you went through the same process again, right? We'll look around, look at our peers, even for the people who are just 1 or 2 years apart. We'll try to compare ourselves against them, where we are in the in the career progress. Of course, different industry, different companies, they have different ranking systems. So we are very fixated with the title at the early stage of our career, right? And then later on, you realize there's many more things you should care about, right? Maybe you have a great title, but you don't get paid a lot. So that's a very realistic metric. But there are also other metrics, right? Do you feel happy? Do you feel excited? So, I keep talking about, passion. If I unpack that, it's about many different things. Number one, do you feel like you're getting respected and valued for your input, right? Whatever you do you feel the receiving end is truly valuing what you have to offer? Are they doing something about it, right? You give some data and insights. Are they doing something about it, or are they just to say thank you? And then number two, the people you are surrounding yourself with, right? Do you enjoy working with them? Do you see the passion? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel more positive or more negative, right? So that's really going through my mind when I give you the short answer, yes. It's not about the pay. It's really multiple metrics, right, that comes through my mind when I think about, okay, what am I going to do?
And that matrix include the passion and whether you see the value and the people around you.
Yeah, a lot of times, we can tell, right? Even you don't have a very, very specific framework, you can tell when you get out the day, everyone feels, tired because nowadays things are so fast. But do you feel like you're getting something, you learn something, you feel like you're being rewarded, or you feel like you just want to leave the job tomorrow?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.